The homeless teenager jumped back in fear as the angry billionaire stormed across the park. "I wasn't doing anything wrong," Maya said quietly. "She was teaching me," little Emma defended her new friend. Alexander Stone was about to discover that his biggest prejudice would become his greatest blessing. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. Billionaire Alexander Stone shouted as he stormed across the park. His heart was racing with fear and anger as he saw a dirty, homeless-looking teenage girl sitting next to his 8-year-old daughter Emma on a park bench. The girl, who looked about 15 with tangled brown hair and torn clothes, quickly stood up and stepped back. "I'm sorry, sir. I wasn't doing anything wrong." "Daddy, wait," Emma called out, jumping off the bench. "Maya was teaching me math. She's really smart." Alexander grabbed Emma's hand and pulled her away from the homeless girl. "Emma, you know better than to talk to strangers. Especially, people like her." Maya's face showed hurt, but she kept her dignity. "I understand, sir. I'll leave." "Good. And stay away from my daughter," Alexander said coldly. As Maya walked away, Emma looked up at her father with disappointed eyes. "Daddy, that was mean. Maya was helping me with my homework. She knows everything about numbers." Alexander ignored his daughter's protests. He was the CEO of Stone Industries, worth over $10 billion. He couldn't have his daughter associating with homeless people. It was dangerous and inappropriate. But Emma couldn't stop thinking about Maya. The next day, when their driver dropped Emma off at the park after school, she looked around hoping to see the girl again. Maya was sitting under a tree reading a thick book. Emma ran over to her before her nanny could stop her. "Maya, you came back," Emma said happily. Maya looked around nervously. "Emma, I don't think your father wants me talking to you. He's not here. And I really need help with my math homework. The teacher gave us these really hard problems." Maya hesitated, then looked at Emma's homework. Her eyes lit up. "These are algebra problems. They're actually not that hard once you understand the pattern." For the next hour, Maya patiently explained mathematical concepts to Emma in ways that made perfect sense. Emma learned more in that hour than she had in weeks of expensive tutoring. "How do you know so much about math?" Emma asked. Maya's face became sad. "I used to go to school. Before everything changed." "What happened?" "My parents died in a car accident 2 years ago. I've been living on the streets ever since. But I never stopped studying. I go to the library every day to read and learn." Emma's heart broke for her new friend. "That's so sad. Don't you have any family?" "No one who wanted me. I aged out of the foster system early because I ran away so many times. The streets are hard, but at least I'm free." Over the next 2 weeks, Emma met Maya at the park every day after school. Maya helped Emma with math, science, and reading. Emma's grades improved dramatically, but more importantly, she was learning about life from someone who had experienced real hardship. Maya never asked Emma for money or food, even though Emma could see that she was hungry and cold. Maya's pride wouldn't let her beg even from a wealthy 8-year-old. One day, Emma brought Maya a sandwich and a warm jacket. "I brought these for you," Emma said. Maya's eyes filled with tears. "Emma, I can't take these. Your father already doesn't like me. My father doesn't have to know. Please, Maya. You're my friend. Friends help each other." Maya accepted the gifts gratefully, and Emma felt happy knowing she had helped someone who had helped her so much. But Alexander was beginning to notice changes in Emma. Her grades were improving, she was talking about advanced mathematical concepts, and she seemed more mature and thoughtful. "Emma, your teacher says you've made remarkable progress in math," Alexander said one evening. "Your new tutor must be excellent." Emma looked uncomfortable. "Actually, Daddy, I need to tell you something." Before Emma could confess, Alexander's phone rang. It was his head of security. "Mr. Stone, we've been monitoring Emma's activities as you requested. There's something you need to know about that homeless girl." Alexander's blood ran cold. "What about her?" "Her name is Maya Rodriguez. We ran a background check. Sir, this girl is extraordinary. She was a straight A student before her parents died. She scored in the 99th percentile on standardized tests. She's basically a genius." Alexander was confused. "A genius?" "She's a homeless teenager. Sir, there's more. We found out she's been teaching other children in the park for free. Kids from the neighborhood seek her out for help with homework. She's like a one-person tutoring service." That evening, Alexander decided to see for himself what was happening. He went to the park and watched from a distance as Maya sat under a tree with 5 different children, helping them with their homework. One child was struggling with reading. Maya patiently sounded out words with him. Another child couldn't understand fractions. Maya used sticks and leaves to make the concept visual and easy to understand. Alexander watched in amazement as this homeless teenager displayed teaching skills that rivaled those of professional educators. She was patient, kind, and incredibly knowledgeable. "She's amazing, isn't she?" said a voice behind him. Alexander turned to see a woman approaching. "I'm sorry? Maya. That's your daughter, she's helping with the math problem. I'm Mrs. Garcia. Maya has been tutoring my son Carlos for 3 weeks. His grades went from D's to A's. She doesn't charge anything?" Alexander asked. "Nothing. She just loves teaching. My Carlos was ready to drop out of school because he felt stupid. Maya showed him that he's actually very smart, just learns differently." Alexander continued watching as Maya worked with Emma. His daughter was laughing and engaged in a way he had never seen during her expensive private tutoring sessions. When the tutoring session ended, Alexander approached Maya. She saw him coming and immediately gathered her things to leave. "Maya, wait," Alexander called. "I want to talk to you." Maya stopped but kept her distance. "I wasn't doing anything wrong, Mr. Stone. I was just helping with homework." "I know. And I owe you an apology. I judged you without knowing anything about you." Maya looked surprised. "It's okay. I understand why you were protective of Emma." "No, it's not okay. I was prejudiced and wrong. Emma has told me how much you've helped her. Her teacher says she's made remarkable progress. Emma is very smart. She just needed someone to explain things in a way that made sense to her." Alexander studied this remarkable teenager. "Maya, I have a proposition for you." "What kind of proposition?" "I want to offer you a job. A real job with a salary helping children learn. But first, I want to offer you something else." "What?" "A home. A chance to finish your education. A chance to become the teacher you clearly were meant to be." Maya stared at him in shock. "I don't understand." "I'm offering to pay for you to finish high school and go to college. In return, you can help Emma and other children with their studies. You can live in our guest house and have all the resources you need." Maya's eyes filled with tears. "Why would you do that for me?" "Because Emma has taught me something important. She sees people for who they really are, not what they look like or where they come from. You're not just a homeless girl. You're a gifted teacher and a remarkable young woman. But your reputation. What will people think if they know you're helping a street kid? Let them think whatever they want. My daughter's happiness and education are more important than what people think." Maya accepted Alexander's offer, and her life changed completely overnight. She moved into the guest house, which was larger than most people's entire homes. She was enrolled in an elite private school to finish her high school education. But the most important change was the relationship that developed between Maya and the Stone family. Emma adored her, and Alexander began to see Maya as the daughter he never knew he wanted. Maya's presence also changed Alexander in unexpected ways. She opened his eyes to the struggles of homeless youth and the failures of the foster care system. She helped him understand that poverty didn't equal stupidity, and that some of the brightest minds were trapped in circumstances beyond their control. "Maya," Alexander said one evening as they watched Emma play in the garden, "I want to start a foundation. A foundation that helps homeless and foster children get education and opportunities." "That's a wonderful idea, Mr. Alexander. What would you call it?" "The Maya Rodriguez Foundation for Educational Excellence." Maya gasped. "You want to name it after me? You're going to help me run it?" Who better to help homeless kids than someone who's been through it herself? Over the next few months, Maya threw herself into her studies while also helping Alexander plan the foundation. Her insights were invaluable because she understood the real challenges facing homeless youth. "Most people think homeless kids just need food and shelter," Maya explained to Alexander. "But they also need dignity, hope, and someone who believes in their potential." The foundation started small, but word spread quickly about the billionaire and the former homeless girl who were changing lives. They opened learning centers in poor neighborhoods, provided scholarships for gifted but disadvantaged students, and created mentorship programs. Maya graduated high school as valedictorian and received a full scholarship to Harvard University. But she deferred her acceptance for a year to help launch the foundation's programs. "Education saved my life," Maya said in her valedictorian speech. "Not just book learning, but learning about kindness from an 8-year-old girl and her father who saw past my circumstances to my potential." Emma, now 9, was in the audience beaming with pride. "That's my sister," she whispered loudly to anyone who would listen. Because that's what Maya had become, not just Emma's tutor or Alexander's protégé, but truly a member of their family. Alexander legally adopted Maya when she turned 18, making her officially Emma's sister and his daughter. The adoption ceremony was held in the same park where he had first seen Maya teaching Emma math. 2 years ago, I thought I was protecting my daughter from a dangerous stranger, Alexander said to the gathered crowd. I had no idea that the stranger would become the best thing that ever happened to our family. Maya, now dressed in a beautiful graduation gown, hugged her new father. You gave me more than a home and an education. You gave me a family and a purpose. The Maya Rodriguez Foundation grew into one of the most successful educational charities in the country. Under Maya's leadership, it helped thousands of homeless and disadvantaged children get the education and opportunities they deserved. Maya went on to Harvard, where she studied education and social work. She graduated summa cum laude and returned to expand the foundation's work internationally. Emma, inspired by her sister's story, decided she wanted to become a teacher too. Maya showed me that teaching is the most important job in the world, Emma said. Teachers don't just share knowledge, they share hope. Years later, when Maya was 25 and running educational programs around the world, she would often think back to that day in the park when a frightened billionaire had yelled at her to stay away from his daughter. Sometimes the worst moments lead to the best outcomes, Maya would tell the children she worked with. When someone treats you badly because of your circumstances, don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you more determined to prove them wrong. Alexander, now in his 50s, had become one of the most respected philanthropists in the world. But he never forgot the lesson his daughter and Maya had taught him about looking beyond appearances to see people's true worth. The best investment I ever made wasn't in technology or real estate, Alexander would say in interviews. It was in a homeless teenager who was teaching my daughter math under a tree. That investment returned more than money could ever measure. On the 5th anniversary of Maya's adoption, the family returned to the park where it all began. A small plaque had been installed on the bench where Maya first taught Emma math. It read, "In honor of Maya Rodriguez, teacher, daughter, sister, and proof that genius can be found anywhere." Emma, now 13 and top of her class in math, sat on the bench with Maya. "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if Daddy hadn't been so mean to you that first day?" Maya smiled. "I think everything happened exactly as it was supposed to. Your father's reaction was natural, he was protecting you. But your kindness changed everything. You saw past my circumstances and treated me like a friend. And now you're my sister forever." "Forever," Maya agreed, hugging the girl who had changed her life by simply asking for help with math homework. As they sat on the bench together, both sisters knew that the greatest lessons in life often come from the most unexpected teachers, and that sometimes the people who look like they need help the most are actually the ones with the most to give. The billionaire's daughter had learned about compassion and social justice. The homeless girl had learned about family and unconditional love. And the billionaire had learned that true wealth isn't measured in dollars, but in the lives you touch and the love you share. What had started as a conflict between different worlds had become a beautiful story of family, education, and the power of seeing past surface appearances to recognize the extraordinary potential that exists in every human being.